Jessica, good to see you again, and I hear you're up to some good activities on Friday last week. Could
Yeah,
you tell me some more about it?
Sure. Last Friday, a developer showed me a few of his past developments. During the conversation, we have discovered they had sold their management rights through a different agency, half multiplier lower than the market price at the time. Now we're talking about millions of dollars here. They told me that it would be nicer if they have achieved the market price and they would have some more funding to secure the next development opportunity.
Let's chat about 5 quick tips on how to maximize the value of your off-the-plan management rights, as well as 3 pitfalls to avoid when you are setting up the caretaking and letting agreements. So that way we can assist you to adding the best value for your owners, investors, sale price and building infrastructure. I see this as an essential part of your product design, which underpins the price you are going to achieve when you sell your stock as well as the management rights.
Hello everyone, I'm Jessica Dong here with Richard Skiba today. Welcome back to our channel, Management Rights. Richard, you have run many different styles of buildings and townhouses before, from brand new development to heritage listed buildings. Also read thousands of caretaking and letting agreements over the last 20 years. As you may know, in Queensland there are 5 different modules: accommodation module, standard module, commercial, small schemes, and 2 lodge. If we are using a permanent building, for an example, is there any difference with different modules on the price achieved?
Yeah, certainly. The accommodation module with 25 years to run on the caretaking and letting agreements would definitely achieve a higher sale price than your typical 10-year standard module agreements. Each type of module has its pros and cons, and we can provide advice on which type is best based on who the building is built for and its functionality, for example, if it's for investors or owner-occupiers, rather than to generalize too much on this short video.
So in management rights, the caretaking and letting agreement is what the bank is lending against, as well as ensure the duties are set out for the best interests of the building. What are the things you noticed that the market would offer a higher value, Richard?
Well, Jessica, I've found that the caretaking and letting agreements that also provide more flexibility are more attractive to on-site managers, and they also have a higher value. For example, if there is a requirement to reside in or own a certain lot in the building, this can reduce the flexibility and options for the management rights owner as to how their lifestyle may be affected. For example, you can also achieve a higher value if there is no requirement regarding to owning or living in a specific lot in the building. Prospective on-site managers have options to choose to suit their lifestyle and operation if preferred. I have found most of the management rights owners with large buildings or complexes always reside on-site for better operation and management of the building.
What about working space like office, reception, storage for equipment, etc.?
Well, certainly, Jessica. That's another key aspect that adds value is by granting occupation authority areas, such as an office or reception, or adequate storage areas and amenities for the on-site manager.
What about office hours? Is another area of discussion normally?
Yeah, so office hours is definitely an interesting one. Over the years, I've seen very small buildings with 9 to 5 Monday to Friday office hours and larger buildings without office hours. It certainly is another area that flexibility is preferred. Larger buildings with more work to do, even if there is no office hours, managers would spend time in the office anyway. And if it's a small building that work can be done and finished earlier than 5 p.m, then really there is no point for the manager to sit in the office all day. Depending on the profile of the residents of the building, managers should also have the flexibility to set their office hours to meet their residents' requirements. So in general, the agreements without set office hours are more attractive, but it really depends on the building and what it is used for. For instance, a 500-unit 6-star luxury resort would certainly have a concierge with a 24/7 staff reception, you see.
So we just want to share a recent experience with selling 3 management rights for a developer. He set up and run his management right for about 12 months, and he engaged us to sell all 3 management right for him. During the process of selling, the bank solicitor found out caretaking and letting agreements were executed out of order, therefore made the management unfinanceable. So we had to end up work with the body corporate and the owners to call EGM to fix up that issue. So how do we avoid things like this because it's very time consuming and also costly in the end?
Yes, Jessica. So I guess really the essence is to contact the SI team first. Also, we work very closely with the management rights specialist solicitors, so all of this stuff can really be avoided right from the beginning, so there's no need to go back, renegotiate contracts, or waste time and money doing EGMs and so forth, and run the risk of prospective purchasers pulling out. That's one of the key things. So we will definitely assist you to evaluate the proposed disclosure statement and also the key components, so your returns are optimised and also your interests are protected. We will also firstly examine your proposed project's disclosure statement for the investors with an outline of the function and structure of the body corporate and how the development will actually be used and operated. This will also ensure you will not have to go back to your unit purchases and once again have to renegotiate new sales contracts and run the risk of your unit buyers pulling out of their contracts just because a change needs to be done to the disclosure statement, for example.
There are many pitfalls we came across over the last 10 years in the agreements, which can be avoided simply by talking to SI management rights as early as possible. So Richard, could you please share 3 common ones here?
Yes, firstly there's the Gallery V clause. Secondly, executing the caretaking and letting agreements prior to the body corporate being established. And another one is the schedule of duties that don't really meet the building requirements. And also, as the scale and size of the buildings and developments continues to increase, more developers are actually realising that management rights is the best way to ensure their buildings, owners and guests are being looked after. We also have more developers that are turning towards the fastest growing management rights sales specialists, SI management rights. It's not just SI's industry-leading marketing with promotional exposure to the largest portfolio of purchases, it's actually our focus on securing the most qualified buyers tailored to your development's requirements with the best sales price. So call us on 0404 331 310 to get the best price for your management.
We hope you found something useful from this video. Make sure to subscribe. We have lots of useful and interesting videos on business, management rights and life in Australia. Make sure to support our channel by giving us a thumbs up, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. See you next time. In the management rights formula, there are 5 In the management rights formula, there are 5